For us to be told that they have to be abandoned in its entirety is basically to telling us to continue to face a future of hopelessness. And that is not one that we can, in any equanimity, contemplate. We have to look at a situation whereby the transition that we're looking at takes into account the resources that we have. So we're having to have a look at this big question, and the major issue being the financing, the access to investment into financing. And I think it's something that we now, all of us, also ought to look at more strongly. And that is the role that the institutions like the bank, the fund, the World Bank, and the fund can play in helping to mobilize private capital to support the development of the world. We're all aware that there is so much more money in private hands than there are in the public institutions. And how can this larger amount of capital be made to work for and I have to agree with Prime Minister Motley that the matter cannot just be about climate change, because there are other matters that are of equal significance. In the last 3 months, Ghana has faced extraordinary rainfall patterns that we have never experienced in our history before. It has led to flooding and the spillage of our dam, and to flooding of critical food-growing areas of our country. The soil is being destroyed in many parts of the country that is going to make replanting of food and the reuse of those lands a difficulty for us. If we don't take some very, very dramatic actions now, food supply in the years down the road, in 2, 3, 4 years' time, is going to be a major issue for the country. So that, for instance, is a matter of tremendous concern for us. How do we mobilize the capital to be able to deal with the food crisis that is on the horizon in Ghana? So the multiplicity of the issues confronting us also require a multiplicity of responses. But at the heart of all of those responses is a very simple, ancient issue: money. Yes, it doesn't change from century to century, from generation to generation, access to capital and to money. And I think that a lot of our energies, what we're looking at is how we can frame a new arrangement where the institutions, the multilateral institutions, like the bank, like the fund, can play in the process of mobilizing the greater resources that the world needs for its development.